Our man Michael Irvin, one of Deion's closest friends, brought up the possibility on Monday's Undisputed of Deion to Texas A&M. Deion was asked yesterday about the A&M possibility and said of any other job speculation, I don't hear that. Here's what Deion said he tells recruits and their parents.
I tell them what I told them when they came. I'm here. I'm here. I tell them my mother's here, my sister's here, and my dog is here. My daughter's here. Three of my sons are here. My other daughter comes during every home game. We're here. I get mail here. Claim taxes here. Pay taxes here. I'm sorry. I'm here. I don't hear that. I don't hear that. Maybe our recruiting staff hears it, but I don't hear it. I'm too honest, not, with parents, and I'm gonna tell them the truth.
I love Deion. Keyshawn, what do you make of Deion's response?
I mean, I like everything. I don't necessarily I don't hear it. Maybe he doesn't pay attention to what he hears. Maybe that's it. Because clearly you the hottest thing going, so you gotta hear it. I mean, you can ignore it. It's just hard for me to think that his kids, his family's not like, oh, Pops, A&M, we hearing A&M. You hear some rumblings. He's just probably not paying attention to it. If he loves Colorado and he feels a certain way about Colorado, it is important, as he said, everybody to move to Colorado. So to keep moving every other year to a different state, that's a lot on your family. Both me and Richard and you too, to a degree, Skip, knows about moving around because you don't work at every damn outlet that there is to work at. And me and Richard done play for multiple teams. Yeah. So, no, it's very true. I got a whole list of all the places you work. But you move around, you don't want to put that type of pressure on your family. So to that degree, yeah, I understand exactly what Coach is saying. But what I will say, as we always talk about, Skip, sometimes you do listen, though, right? And they get to calling, and they get to bothering you, because if they really want you and you are their guy that they want, they will figure a way to how to pry you away from your existing job. Yep. It's not like the contracts that we may be under or the NFL contracts. It's not like that. It's a certain buyout. And Deion's not making $40 million a year, so his buyout is not going to be crazy that the people in A&M can absorb the buyout. It's about, is he willing to even have the opportunity, give you the opportunity to listen? Is he willing to? Because once he listens, it's hard for them to walk out of that room without that catch. That's just my opinion. I believe he wants to stay in Colorado. But I just know, man, when coaches are listening to certain things and promises are being made and you can change assistant coaches' lives, because now all of a sudden your assistant coach goes from making X amount of money to this amount of money. And then, you got your kids there. But is it a situation where maybe he gets a waiver from the NC2A to move his kids? I don't know. It's just hard for me to say that he won't listen to the opportunity.
Yeah, I'm going to listen to Prime, because Prime is, like you said, an honest dude and an honest guy, and he's going to be honest about this. He's not going to listen, and he's a guy who doesn't really pay. He's not as worldly as people really give him credit for. The first time Prime left the United States and went to a foreign country, Richard, I was there.
Just because you listen don't mean...
No, you're not going to listen.
Though, just because you listen don't mean you're not being honest.
If he's saying he's not listening, I'm going to say he's not listening. If he's saying I don't hear it, I'm going to say, so if you're saying he's listening when he's saying he's not listening, you're saying he lies.
How could you not hear it? It's all over the country. How could you not hear it?
There's a lot of things people don't hear. Just because it's in your lens and it's in your prayer view, it doesn't mean it's in everybody else's. I think that Deion
Prime is my man, too. I love Prime like a brother. Right. But there's no way you're going to tell me that the volume is at 10 and you don't hear it?
I'm going to tell you that because he just told me that. I'm going to speak what he spoke. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to speak for him and put words in his mouth or put things in his life that he says aren't there. I'm going to say his sons are there. He doesn't want his sons to go to the National Football League yet. He's promised his sons, we're going to make it to a national title, us, together. We going to a national title game, and we doing it at Colorado. So why would I listen to anything else that's not that? I'm going to put all my energy into getting the best players and the best things so that I can give my sons what I promised them when they were young kids. This has been a dream of these guys for a long time. I'm not sure.
No, I'm not saying he's going to abandon his kids. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, look, when teams come calling these coaches, man, and these organizations call these coaches, they're relentless on getting them on the phone so to try to persuade them no matter what the circumstances is. Shiloh along with Shador. You look up, man, and they'll make it happen to the point. Remember, there's a portal and there's transfer rules. Just like those kids left to go to Colorado, they can leave Colorado to go somewhere else at some point in time if they choose to do so. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to be oblivious and think that the A&M people that may try to get the Prime will not try their hardest to get one of the hottest coaches that knows what he's doing, that can turn his program around and give them that notoriety that they so desperately are seeking in the SEC conference. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, Keyshawn, quick point of order about what you said about me. Yes, when I was in the newspaper business, I moved a number of times, and every single time I moved, I made more money.
Okay,
Not
Skip.
one time was I ever fired anybody.
Talk about it.
I made more money.
Yeah.
In the last 20 years.
I never said you was fired.
Last 20 years, I worked at 2 networks, ESPN and FS1, and I moved and I made more money.
Talk about it,
Okay,
Skip.
I'm just telling you. Okay, so to your point about Prime, I'm with Richard about right now in his heart of hearts, he is committed body and soul to Colorado.
I believe that too.
Okay.
But I know
Let him
how
go.
it goes when
Okay.
people call.
Okay, at some point, somebody might call and make that basic offer you just cannot refuse, and it will feel right, but it's not right
Right
now.
now.
Texas A&M is wrong place, wrong time for Deion Sanders because I still
may be
believe this.
true.
Having been there with you guys and been at Colorado, having had a couple of little side conversations with Deion, I truly believe he thinks it's, like Michael Irvin says, it's heaven, man. It is beautiful. It is breathtaking. It has a strong fan base. They've sold out every game for a team that's going to go 4-8 or whatever they're going to finish. And yet the point is they got it going straight north as fast as you can go. They're going to be bigger than the Denver Broncos at some point because if they're not already, Broncos are starting to show some signs of life. But the point is, I think he can win national championships with an S on it, plural, at Colorado.
Yes,
I
yes.
believe he can do that.
Yes.
And again, it
Yes.
feels like his kids all love it there. It feels like his mom really loves it there. Remember, he's got a daughter who's playing basketball at Colorado. So you got 3 kids playing sports at Colorado, and the 2 of them could go to the NFL now. And I'm pretty sure they're going to come back and they're going to be really good next year. So right here, right now, everything he said. Remember, he's got to preserve his recruiting. You
Right.
can't say, yeah, I'm open. I'm all comers. Yeah, you can't say.
But Skip, you are essentially, without using this word for word like me, you're saying the same thing I'm saying, which is at some point, somebody is going to come a-calling right now today as we sit with 2 more games to go and potentially a bowl game and recruiting. Right now is not the right time.
No.
He has family in Colorado. He has all of those things.
Yeah.
But what I will say, when you start listening, and you know this, Richard, so don't even try to act like you don't know it. You know when you start listening to somebody telling you something, boy, you start really listening. And they go in there and they say, hey,
He's
you
not
do
going to
realize
listen. That's what I'm saying.
We got a
So it's a
top 4. They have the top 4 roster in all of college football. Why Jimbo Fisher can't turn that
Texas
roster
A&M.
around and win with it, I have no idea.
Good
but when you
question.
start listening to that and you start hearing certain things, It's only human nature, man.
But it's not. He's not going to listen. That's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is we're having a pointless conversation about it, because why would he listen when you yourself described to us the transfer portal rules? His kids cannot transfer again. He's telling you, unless they got a waiver and it was extreme circumstances, they don't have extreme circumstances. They would be leaving because their dad left. That's not a good enough reason to get a transfer waiver. So
I understand.
So that's what I'm saying is he has to make sure that he doesn't lose recruits or lose people he's having conversations with in the transfer portal. So he's not hearing any of that. I'm focused on giving my kids the best chance they can to win a national championship here, and that means making sure that every recruit I'm talking to, every potential transfer kid I'm talking to understands that I am concrete, 10 toes down, foot in the ground, in Colorado, and I want you to be here with me. I'm not lying to these parents.
But as he should, though, Richard, he should do that. And I applaud him for doing that. But I know, and I've been around enough coaches, and so are you, in families and all sorts of stuff. When they pick up that phone, even though they don't want to pick it up,
he's not picking it up.
And they hear somebody on the other end talking, you're listening. You're just listening.
He's not picking it up. He's not picking up the phone. Okay. There's no reason for him to pick up the phone if he's not leaving. You're saying he is potentially, if he's listening, he's saying I could potentially leave my kids at Colorado and go to another opportunity. No, I'm saying that's not the man I know.
That's not what he's saying. That's not
100% what he's saying if he's answering the phone.
No, it's not. Man, these boosters and these athletic directors, as you know, Skip, are relentless. They go for what they want, regardless. If them dudes will sit in Colorado till he meets with, that's all I'm saying. So I'm not willing to just, hell, they'll go to the NC2A and figure out how to get his kids over there. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I think we're doing semantics here. Is it possible that A&M would get word to Deion through a third party that, hey, we're willing to give you $30 million a year? That could happen. But I think Deion's not listening to that.